Surprise, surprise, this movie is controversial already, and all we've gotten is a teaser trailer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that is, of course, Supergirl. And recently, well, maybe not so recently, the teaser trailer came out. I'm a bit late to the party here, but I wanted to share things I liked, things I didn't like, and things I am seriously concerned about with this new teaser released. Now, I want to preface with a couple of things, first of which being no, I do not read many comics, if any, and I have not read Woman of Tomorrow. Yes, I know this movie is based on that comic. No, I do not really care. I don't think that you need to read comics to watch and enjoy superhero movies, and if you need to read a comic to have to like enjoy the movie, then I think that's pretty hypocritical because a lot of the people that make that argument are the same ones that complain about the MCU having homework, which I agree with, but, you can't have it one way and not the other. That being said, I'm looking forward to this movie. I want to get that out of the way as well. I am not in any way trying to kill hype for this movie. I'm still pretty much, looking forward to it as much as I was before, just with some, or I should say a lot more, skepticism, I guess. The second thing I want to say is, yes, I know this is a teaser. I've had people point this out to me in my friend group, like, bro, it's just a teaser, right? It's not a full trailer. Yes, I can understand that, but general rule of thumb, especially with movies nowadays, I mean, the teaser, the trailer, to me, it really makes no difference. The only thing that, to me, the main difference is that I've noticed is the trailer will just reveal more story. This one, the issues I'm going to talk about, I think are all fair because they're all pretty present and apparent in this teaser. I don't really think it, hides anything, but I could be wrong. So, starting out, I want to start with the good, the things I like, the things I really like, actually. The first of which being Kara herself, or Millie Alcock as Kara. Now, when she was cast in Superman and she showed up, she got a lot of heat because the way she showed up, drunk, irresponsible, cussing. A lot of people found her to be already annoying, and they think that this type of tropey thing for characters, specifically female characters, is overplayed, and I could see the argument there. However, I think it does work here. It's kind of like Spider-Man. My opinion on Spider-Man, for Tom Holland at least, has always been, I was always fine with where they started him out because I knew there would be growth there. I knew he would progress into the Spider-Man that we want. Now, my only experiences with Kara or Supergirl are from the Justice League animated show and the Supergirl TV show. Now, Supergirl TV show I was a big fan of. It started to go downhill for sure, and a lot of it was kind of old and just rehashed a lot, typical CW problems. But that version of Kara specifically, the hopeful kind, still strong and intense when she needed to be, that's the Kara I love. Now, I will admit I could do without the whole like drunk all the time, reckless, yada yada yada, but I also understand why they're probably doing it this way, so that's why I am kind of putting that in my positives for right now. Now, if this movie ends and she's made no progress and she's still like basically the exact same, that's when I'm gonna have some huge issues, but for now, I like it. The second thing I really liked was the costume itself. I think the costume is really great because it's like it's just simple enough. They don't overdo it. They don't. We've gotten the version of Sasha Cal with the the long sleeves, basically like Superman's costume, just on a woman's body. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of the skirt just because I'm a sucker for like some cool costumes, and I like seeing people differentiated. So like, for example, had we had more movies with Sasha Cal's Supergirl and Henry Cavill's Superman, seeing them next to each other would have just looked pretty bland to me, and I mean, I wouldn't have really liked it. I like seeing the differentiation and being like, oh, that's Supergirl right there, that's Superman. Like, just from the costume alone. Not to mention, I mean, the Supergirl, like, skirt, costume, long sleeve, um, shirt, or whatever you want to call it, is like, it's iconic for a reason. It's like Wonder Woman. I don't really think there's anything wrong with the long sleeve version of the suit, but I'm a sucker for the classic, so for the OG. So I think that's really, really cool. Another thing I want to touch on that might contradict some of the stuff I say later in this video, but that is like some of the, I guess, the shots, or I guess like the shots of her and the way she moves. For example, when she's flying in the atmosphere and she bursts through the clouds. I love that. I love the way that looks. Another one that comes to mind immediately is the one where she's kind of swinging the giant axe, or like, I don't know what to call it, piece of debris around her in a circle. And it's just like, messing shit up. I think that looks awesome. That's really cool. And I like stuff like that. However, now I'm going to be getting into some of the stuff I'm not so much a fan of, because unfortunately that is kind of where my pros end. Now again, I'm looking to be proven wrong, so hopefully there's more pros to add when the next trailer comes out, or if, when the movie comes out, because I will be seeing this, obviously. But one of the things I really don't like, and I'm just going to get out of the way now because a lot of people have already said it, but it's true in my opinion, and that is that this looks like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. This looks like Guardians of the Galaxy 4. If you replaced Supergirl with Star-Lord, in my opinion, I don't really think you'd be able to tell the difference, to be quite honest. Like, you take away the Superman newspaper and you put Star-Lord where Kara is, and to me this looks exactly like a Guardians of the Galaxy 4. Now, I'm a fan of the Guardians movies, but I'm not going to lie. It's starting to get me a little bit nervous because a lot of James Gunn's movies are feeling very familiar. And I don't really mean that by like saying Superman obviously is not the same as the Suicide Squad in terms of tone. Well, I mean, actually parts of it is, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like they just all look, and because they all look the same, they all kind of just feel the same, like on a general like base level view. Like, obviously the movie itself, it's going to be different. There's not, like, the plot of this Supergirl movie, I really don't think it'll be the plot of a Guardians movie. At least I'm hoping. However, things like the spaceship that picks her up for, like, the space bus or whatever looks exactly like a Guardian ship. Very well could be. The way the inside of these ships look feel very Guardians, like, it looks like a college dorm, but it's not because she's on a spaceship. Haha. That shot, this is what I was talking about. Like, it might sound hypocritical, but that shot where she's swinging the thing around her, it looks sick. But at the same time, that platform that she's on, or the ship that she's on, literally looks like a set from Guardians 3. Only maybe a little bit, darker in the color palette, but nonetheless, it looks the same. It looks like James Gunn just kind of borrowed the set designer for that and brought him over here. Also, some of the villains or the hench people in this, like the ones that are pointing guns at her, that looks, I mean, straight out of Guardians 1, to me at least. Or maybe even Guardians 2 when they're on the planet, when they're on nowhere. It kind of looks like she's on nowhere, honestly. And then, of course, you have the villain, which I'm blanking on his name, but I will put it here. But he looks, it's funny, I saw somebody say this, and I couldn't agree more. He looks like a character that would have his head shoved in a toilet in Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's so true. I mean, he looks like, what's his face? Taserface. Funny I should say face. He looks like Taserface. And it's ridiculous, in my opinion. And now, I understand this is not directed by James Gunn. James Gunn is not responsible for this. I get all that. I get it. But all I'm saying is it's frustrating because then that just means the director had no inspiration, maybe, or maybe his inspiration was James Gunn. Either way, it's just disappointing because Guardians was revolutionary for what it did, especially with the like space superhero genre. But that being said, I would like to see some more like steps forward in that genre. I mean, the first Guardians came out in 2013. I want this new Supergirl to take I wanted it at least to take things somewhere different. I wanted it to feel different. You know, we're in the DC universe, we're in space. Superman obviously did a lot of stuff, but it was definitely obviously on Earth. It was grounded on Earth. And this one, I was excited because I'm like, wow, what's space gonna be like in the DC universe? Is it gonna be like the Justice League cartoon version where it's all very like sleek and retro futuristic and where all these planets are gonna be like very almost religious looking? And it's interesting because Krypton kind of does look religious looking esque. Krypton actually looks like one of the things that stands out in this trailer to me in terms of like visuals and comparing it to Guardians. It doesn't actually look like it's from Guardians, but with that being said, I can't help but feel like the rest of this is straight out of Guardians. Again, I'm hoping that maybe it's just the shots they chose to use because they're saving spoilers. Although they did reveal Lobo, which let me add, actually, Lobo is a major positive. I'm super happy for Momoa that he gets to do that, and I think he's going to crush it. Obviously, he was kind of born to play that. I mean, I don't really think many people argue that, but that's what I'm saying. This just all feels very bland. I hate to say it. I guess I was just expecting more, and again, I know it's a teaser, but we've had teasers before that have, at least I've had teasers, trailers that have blown me away. And I don't think the fact that it's a teaser trailer is an excuse, because that's like, you could say that for anything. You could say, well, what do you expect? It's a superhero movie. It's like, okay, does that mean we shouldn't like, push the envelope? Does that mean you just shouldn't try at all? I mean, I don't really think so. And I don't think you guys would either. So hopefully what I'm saying is coming across and making sense. The other thing that I didn't really enjoy is just the fact that I couldn't see more of it. I'm just messing around. I mean, obviously, we all want to see more of this movie. I don't really have too many gripes about this. Like I said, my main one is basically that it reminds me a lot of Guardians, and from the teaser alone, it feels very formulaic, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that I'm proven wrong. I'm excited to see the full trailer. I'm excited to go see the movie, and I'm excited to see Kara in the DCU. I'm excited to see what they do with her. I think that she will be like a Spider-Man-esque character where she will grow and evolve to be obviously way more mature as time goes on, because yes, I know she's older than Clark, but she was if I'm not mistaken, in cryostasis or whatever longer. So really, like mentally, she's younger, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think this movie still has potential. I don't think it's just like in the gutter. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, this killed quite a bit of my hype for it, because I feel like from this teaser alone, it limits what they could do with it, because it looks like the world is already predetermined. Now, with that being said, I don't think the whole DCU will be like this. Obviously, we have Lanterns coming out, and from what I've seen from that, it looks very different. And that's what I'm saying. I love stuff like that, because you could look at Lanterns and you could just look at a shot from Lanterns from the teaser that I saw. You could be like, oh, that's Lanterns, because it just looks like Lanterns. In the same vein, you could do the same with like the Batman from Matt Reeves. You could take a shot from that of just hell, even the city, and you could be like, oh, that's the Batman. And you can do that with Superman. As much as some people, honestly, myself included, are not fans of that cinematography, you can do that. But with this, I'm like, dude, give me a shot from this, take her out of the shot, and I couldn't tell you if it was Guardians or this, to be quite honest. So that's just my thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys like have to think down below. Do you think I'm crazy, or do you understand where I'm at least coming from? Are you excited for this, and why or why not? So let me know if you stuck around this long. I appreciate your time, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.